Welcome to the A F.o.O.L Podcast. This is episode 65. And do you know that when you get older, three things start to happen? The first is your memory goes. And then, I don't remember what the other two were.
What?
Earl forgot what the intro was.
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Mardigrasman23 here, and it is time for episode 65. We are getting so close to 67. I can't stand it. I'm so excited. I'm Earl, aka Mardigrasman Man, in my BrickLink store. This is Joey. I pointed the right way, aka BrickTrains. He's in his BrickLink store, and Jabo has found the upstairs. It looks like he's found the upstairs, and he's got out of the basement.
It's good to meet you guys.
Why are you upstairs?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Is the Rockford's phone still in there?
The answer machine.
Yeah,
it's not up here right now. No.
Yeah. Okay.
I need to do Believe It or Not, George isn't at home. I need to do that one.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. Yep. Oh, there's so many Seinfeld references on this podcast.
Yep. Pretty soon we're gonna have you watching the show. You're gonna be streaming it, trying to catch up.
I watched it once. It was in a time frame in my life that we didn't have DVRs and whatever. So when it came out, I hit probably 90% of them and I watched it.
I tell you that I think I can remember actually DVRing them and recording every one of them.
Wow.
And I still have the VHS tapes with all of them. And then I would record it in syndication because I had them written down so I knew which ones I would miss. So then if I would save it, or if I had it already, I would record over it. That was before the DVD. That was VHS before DVDs when you could buy the box set.
VHS tapes. You know how many of those I got rid of out of my dad's house? Whew.
Yeah.
Here recently. Okay, so our vault set is going to tie into something that you had found earlier in the week, Jabo, which is set 103. You had actually called it set 576, but
I said the 576 piece set.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't read it that close, apparently.
There's no telling what I actually sent. I might actually could have said that, but
I don't know.
You actually got the box.
I got the box.
Yeah.
So mine's terrible.
But you got it.
But I have it. Yeah. And there, I was going to show. Let's see. Hang on. Maybe I can show this because if you look at Brick Set, and I don't think this is the box. Where am I share? We got several things to show about this one. Present some other screen. Share screen. Boy, high quality production value here. So they say that JCPenney's also sold these sets in just a plain brown box. Now, this is one that's on eBay, and I think this is, I don't know what 49-16636 is, but that looks like a Sears and Roebuck number, the 49 dash. So I think that's a Sears box. Again, it's the same thing. It's just a box. Oh, I can't click on it from there. There it is. It's just a box. But here's the thing that I wanted to kind of show. Stop screen. This box, all right, also has a plain brown box.
Wow.
It's not tape on the bottom.
No tape on the bottom. So
look at that. So instead of it being a box and it's just a sleeve. It's not really a box, is it?
Yes. Well, I
wonder if somebody put that box in there.
It fits perfect.
No, all of them that I have this.
Okay. Yeah, I got a couple of those. I hadn't even looked at them that closely. And I do have a box that looked just like that one on eBay. I don't remember what number on.
Yeah. So we have debated in it. Okay, I guess let's talk about
this is why this is significant. Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. Otherwise, this is really, we've probably.
What's the big deal about that set?
Right. Yeah. We've covered Samsonite on our channel, or I have on mine. Oh, BrickTsar's down. Nice. So I can't pull up when this came out.
I'm on BrickTsar.
Are you?
I'm on BrickTsar.
Well, hang on. Let me try to refresh again. Oh, there it came. Okay. I guess it was me. Come up with a big error. It said BrickTsar's down. Yeah. So 1971. This would have been the end of the Samsonite time frame in the United States. And this was literally just a box of parts. They were just...
So that one's sealed bags in there?
No. I do have one or two that actually have what I think are sealed bags in it. This is somebody's...
With new looking pieces?
They do. They're fairly looking new pieces, but it's that old time... I always called it produce tape. Earl, you know what I'm talking about. It's it's a bag, and you had that little thing at the grocery store. You bloop, and it just put a little piece of tape around it. I remember those as a kid.
Looks like a newspaper bag.
Yeah, this does. This is definitely like a loose. This definitely looks like a newspaper bag.
I wonder if these sets always had different pieces in them.
There's not an inventory, but I don't know. It's got bunch of these. I have no idea if any of these gears are in there plus wheels.
Because when at the end of the Samsonite run in the United States, they just started making all these bulk lots of sets.
Well, this one says Imagination Set 3. So what is Imagination Set 1 and 2?
Well, they
101 and 102.
101 and 102. I mean, not to put a really fine point on it, but yeah, exactly. Let me see if I can find them here.
They were smaller versions, I think.
They were. Here we go. I will present again. Yeah. So this one had 290 pieces and 426, 576, and then I have all of them. Oh, I don't have set 5.
What is 5 though?
It's
1,000 pieces.
Let's see. It's 1971. No, that's a year release, dummy. 917. Yeah, 917 pieces.
917 pieces. We gotta find that one.
Yeah, I don't have that.
So what we were getting back to is that Jabo's asked for years if Samsonite was in the vault.
Yes.
Right?
That is the crux of this.
Yeah, I always wanted to know, and it was only in that video for like 0.2 of a second.
Right. Okay, so this is Minifig Ben's Instagram account. I'm going to give credit where credit's due. And he also has a YouTube channel. Where's his YouTube channel? Hang on. Yeah. There's his YouTube channel. And it's a short on YouTube as well, this thing. But I'm going to show it because I have it queued up on Instagram. And I know the sound's off. Huh?
Did you do the stills like you were going to?
I do, yeah. So here's this thing, and if you blink, you just missed it. There it is.
There it is down there.
Yep. Okay, so
I think there's a Duplo set there too.
Yeah, I went to crap. I gotta figure out how to stop this. All right.
Isn't that something? He takes out that archive blacksmith shop, and you looked right beyond it and caught the bulk box at the bottom.
Well, I have been convinced for years that it isn't in there.
Whoa, that's good. You got to get it.
That's it. That's just grab from it, and I blew it up as big as I dared. And
so there's a Duplo, and then is that my train set? I can't tell.
Which
the 030 train set right there.
This one?
The one in the middle. This you see 801, and then there's a train set.
That one, yeah.
Under that, I can't tell.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Oh, it says Lego System on the side, I think. Oh, why do people take such grainy pictures? Don't do a quick video where you're going all over the place. Take a picture. It would take you like, wouldn't even take that long. Just each shelf, click, 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 click. Not a video where you're going like this.
Yeah. Good.
And then I like how they always feature stuff that's like, from this millennium. I'm like,
right. Yeah, things that, well, it's always, it's younger generation, the kids that go down there and they see stuff.
So let's talk about this vault. So this vault is supposed to have one of every set ever made, supposedly, right? So
That's
what do
what
you
they
think?
say.
So it goes from being a vault in the basement to the last 3 years they need a storage locker.
Yeah. Yes, the last couple of years are going to be that many sets.
Think about it, because you could go to some years and you wouldn't even do a 4-foot shelf up and down of multiple years.
No.
You remember the Lego Collector Guide? Came out in 2008. There's a book.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The last 14 years, or I guess 15 years since then, going on 15 years, there's probably more sets been made than was made up into 2007.
That's insane.
It is out of control, the number of sets. Yeah, the SKUs alone. Let's not even talk about the sets. Talk about all the tchotchke stuff that they sell with it too is out of control. So
you think Duck Bricks is still trying to get every set ever made?
And you don't think he has them now?
There's nothing to keep him from doing it.
Yeah.
Other than availability. There's no
it seems like he has no limit. I mean,
there's no limit to what he can do.
When he got that Jurassic Park that I didn't even know existed, that you're looking for now.
Yeah, that's the zero feedback guy has one listed for $920, but I'm not going to buy it from the guy with zero feedback.
Right. Yeah, that's. Yeah, he does. Yeah, I don't. I don't know what to say. Unlimited amount of.
If you don't have to work, you have unlimited money, and you can travel all around the world. You can get, and you don't see, like when you and I go buy a Lego set, there's pain added to it. Like
yes,
like we've spent. I mean, Joey has spent a lot on a train set. It's very back in the tip corner, but it's like that was painful. That's painful. But if it's like, if somebody's like charging way too much, and some of the stuff he's bought, he's paid way too much for it, but it doesn't matter to him.
Right, because it doesn't matter. The resources that he needs to purchase it are unlimited, apparently.
I guess that sounds like a criticism. It shouldn't be a criticism, but it's.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying not to criticize. Yeah. I'm good. I'm glad for that he's able to do.
It's good for him. It's just
not everybody can do that, and that's fine. I was trying to look because I just ordered some stuff from Germany that came in, and I was trying to look at the value because you got to be very careful when you order stuff.
You ordered this before the first of the year, right?
Yeah, it's here now. So yeah, we'll have to talk about the contest. All right. There's a video coming. I don't know what the tariff prices are, but it's almost like 20% in Germany. So I was
trying you got charged tariff?
You can, but it's all on how that's what I was looking at to see, but all this is in German, so I don't know. But this is the customs declaration that the guy had to fill out. And I know that you can kind of fudge, but he's wrote on here $265 euro value. So that's over I believe it's over whatever customs is when you bring stuff in, they have I guess tariff might be the right word, maybe customs. Duties, yeah. Well, the thing is he sent it and then he got it back, this particular package. He got it back because I was like, oh man, this is 265 euros. Where the heck did my package go? And because he gave me the thing saying it shipped, but it showed that it never left Frankfurt. I was like, okay, what happened? Well, he got it back a few weeks later and he said something happened. And I asked him, I said, is it because of the tariffs or whatever? And he said, no, I don't think so. He said, but he said, I've talked to DHL and he said, I'm going to send it out again tomorrow. So I don't know what they did.
I think that was a DHL.
It could have been. It could have just been a problem.
I mean, I've had orders that were like over $700, $800 on BrickLink, and I've never been charged anything ever.
Well, you remember Brian from Battery Powered Bricks? He bought a bunch of well, I'm sure it was some sort of the electronic stuff, and he ended up having to pay a fairly big fee once it hit the United States to get it. The whoever it was, UPS or somebody, was holding it because it was still due.
I wonder if that's like COD shipping.
Yeah, I think that was underpaid.
Maybe that could have been,
because if it's coming UPS from overseas, it costs a ridiculous amount.
And maybe that's what it was. It was, but I don't know. I don't ship from and I don't ship to European countries.
No, and I mean, that's for sure they get charged that value added tax,
right?
Or whatever. And like even when shipping to Canada, I know I've shipped Jinxie. He's bought tons from me, and I was like, I know he gets taxed on that stuff up in Canada, and then that's why I put it in the terms, and then that's why I also I took it off of sending anywhere, even Canada, but had a couple people want me to ship to Canada, so I did, even though I told them it's going to cost a ridiculous amount.
Well, Max 3000. Okay. He wants a 2x4 red Samsonite. I actually see if maybe you know a better way of sending this. That he wants a Samsonite parts box. It's a 214, but it's a 2x4 red bricks, and I have one on. Well, I got it in hold right now, but I ain't sold any of them, no matter what color.
Yeah.
But he wanted one, and I quoted him at the price that it was going to cost me.
Was it $22 or $23?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
Might even, yeah.
Yeah, 1 ounce. It's $23.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's horrible to send to them. And then I think he was going to get charged, the value added tax on the other stuff.
And they get taxed on the shipping charge too.
Oh, nice.
So
they'll get charged. They'll get taxed the whole thing. Nice. Oh well, but I guess they don't pay. Woo!
That's crazy because they could just truck it over there.
Yeah. So speaking of the challenge, how we're doing it? It sounds like you guys.
I used my day yesterday.
So that was your one day.
I used my day yesterday. Yep, and I was good too. I made one Lego order, and I actually went to Walmart to look for new CMFs, and strangely enough, they're not available in my area, which is odd because usually they're available early in my area. So I made my Lego order, and I bought 2 6-packs. So I'm hoping for hopefully an astronaut in each box, but doubtful. I'll just be glad if I get one.
Yeah.
You want duplicates.
But I would love, yeah. So, and that'll probably break me for the challenge, because if I walk into Walmart and they hit the shelf, I'll probably fill the packs for the Spaceman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I bought January 1, got the Jazz Club. I bought 2 of the 6-packs for the minifigures.
Where did you get your 6-packs? From Lego?
No, I got them from Lego, yeah.
Oh, that's what I should have done. I was looking for it at Target and Amazon. I didn't think to buy them from Lego.
Well, my luck with those. So I said, well, in fact, the video, I finally did the haul video today of all the stuff that had came in. But I bought the 2 6-packs. I wasn't going to buy 2 6-packs, but on January 1, they had it that you could only buy 2 of those CMFs blind bags. Now it's back to 16, but you could only buy 2.
Ridiculous.
So I bought 2 day 1, and then I said, well, that's gonna just make me mad, is what that's going to do. So I bought 2 of the 6-packs. So we'll see what I get. I'll do a video on it too. My problem is that a day or 2 later, Heather saw a picture somewhere, Instagram or something, of the Home Alone house. And she said, do you have one in the basement? I want to build that. I said, I don't have that in the basement. I said, I think that's retired or it might be getting close. Or said, it's been out for a while. She said, well, you better make sure you get me one.
Oh, no.
Well,
so guess what?
But hey, I mean, technically, you bought it
that's
for
hers,
her, right? So as long as she built, technically, you bought it for her. There's a way around it. So as long as she builds it, we'll never know.
We'll never know. Well,
yeah, it's like if a tree falls in the forest and everybody's there to hear it, does it make a sound?
The whole thing with the contest, it was all the honor system.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. So I'm doing good. I'm doing good. What's today? The 12th? The 11th?
Yeah, we're
11th.
filming this is the 11th.
Their 11th, yeah.
So yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I haven't even bought anything from my BrickLink store.
Now that was a question I got asked. Is like, does that count? And I'm like, yes, that counts. If I buy something for the BrickLink store, that counts.
You want a full ban? You want to go a whole month?
Yeah.
You're just
I've gone
hoping
10. It's 10 days.
Yeah.
Look, I left him a comment. The money he's saving this month, February 1st, he's gonna have enough to buy that Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, but five Lego employees are gonna have to be laid off.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be the 5 who's taping your boxes.
You may
Either the warehouse or the marketing team. But it's with me, it'll probably be something silly. Because I mean, I forget who it was. Somebody said something about a book, and it's on eBay for like $25. It's the Lego. What's the name of the book that you got? The hardbound.
The Secret Life of the Lego Brick. I don't have it sitting right here.
Wait a minute. Is there a paper? What? Oh, let me
No,
see
it's got a. It is paper. No, it's got that.
It's a hardbound book.
Well, yours is hardbound,
but it's not bound too well. That's what it is.
No, it is
I
not.
can't
bound.
remember who wrote it.
Some guy, I can't pronounce his name. I don't have the book with me.
Jabba, I was telling so there's one, my buddy, the one who bought one, someone in his group has one for sale in our area on Facebook Marketplace. He's asking $500 for it.
Oh, I can get one on eBay for $200 right now.
With the pogo stick?
Oh no, not with the pogo stick.
Yeah.
So somebody sent me another book. Now I can't remember what the name of it was. And I almost clicked did I buy it now? And I'm like, that probably counts. So I didn't.
Yeah, you could get it for $200 on eBay. It's Daniel.
Okay. This one's a different book.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it now. But so, and then as I'm building some of these mini wheel sets, I've some of them I can't find an instruction manual. Like I want to have the instruction manual for all of them.
Right.
And I sit there and add it to my cart, and I'm like, and then there was another set. I realized I had a lot of the parts in my store architecture set. I just need the printed tile. It's only in that set, and somebody have them for less than $1 on BrickLink, and I was like, I need to get this, but does it?
Okay,
No.
So the other thing here in the show notes, I'm gonna ease your mind a little bit here because I'm trying to be honest about this, but we're going through the show notes. This hunt for this bear lab set. You all saw the picture I sent?
Yeah.
Okay. Never heard of this. Suppose there's only 200 of them. Have no idea if that's true. The only part in it that looks like it's anything, I didn't actually look at the minifig, but it's got that bear, which Bear, BAYER, is the company that makes ABS plastic for Lego. I assume they still do.
I thought that was Bear like the aspirin.
Aspirin.
That's what I was thinking it was.
No, they're the
it was Bear aspirin.
Well, they make that too. Any rate, this guy posted a picture. I don't have a picture of it. We'll do it later whenever I actually want. Spoiler, when I receive it. and that one you can't say that's Heather.
Yeah.
That was all on me.
But you were out. What was that thing when you made your short? Wasn't that
well, that was polybags, but that was just gifts with purchase that had been that were just sitting there.
Oh, he just did that to do the
I was just trying to be funny and stuff.
I got
because I figured you guys would be the only ones that would have noticed.
Yeah, we got it. I thought that's what you bought.
No. Well, I bought them, but not before. They all came in before January 1. Pile of them.
So which one is officially what the Home Alone set or the Bear set?
Well, the Bear set for sure. If you want to call Heather's Home Alone set hers, then
okay.
It was a second.
I mean, I could see how you could say it was for her, but you did buy it, so
yeah. And I'm gonna keep the gift with purchases.
Yeah. So
I'm out.
Yeah, you're out. So and then there were two.
Then there were two. So I don't know. What do you think about this Bear Lab set? I will be interested.
Well, there's like a lot of different Lego custom things like
Yeah. And there's
like
some
the-
of them are, and some of them are on BrickLink. This could be one that's like that. Was it a milk truck or something? There's
Um,
there's an early set.
there are
what
several
about,
sets
I
that
was
were
thinking like the
promotional.
certified professional sets,
Yeah.
or like the promotional set that I have is the Coca-Cola eye fountain, which became nothing. Eye fountain is nothing. If eye fountain had become a thing, that set would probably be worth even more than it is. But it was a glued.
Oh,
set.
okay.
Yeah.
So does this bear set have a set number?
No.
Because no,
And did it even come in a box?
It looks like it came in a bag, but it looks like there's a piece of paper that's
I
got
wonder
Lego
if it's like
branding on it.
that Lego cabin I got,
Yeah.
Could
where
be.
it was a promotional company gift. Yeah.
I think that's what this was. This was probably internal to Bear employees. So
was it made by Bear?
I think it was made for Bear by Lego, but yeah, I don't until I get it.
I was thinking like a Brick Mania type thing where they get actual Lego bricks and then they customize printing on some of them for.
It's possible.
What year is this? Does it have? Could you tell, or you have to wait till you get it?
I'm gonna have to wait till we get it. I don't. Hang on.
Because I wonder if this was when Lego was in their, what was it, the 90s when they were struggling? Maybe they were like.
No, this is probably more recent, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this is a lot more recent. Okay, hang on. Let me try and pull this. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna pull this over here, and I don't think it's gonna show anything when I do the present screen share. So there is, I don't know what's in this paper. There's a couple pictures. That says Lego there.
That right there looks like the back of an instruction manual.
Uh-huh. And I thought somewhere.
It is a neat little set. See, to me,
Yes.
it looks like a pharmaceutical laboratory where they're making bear
2014.
Yeah, 2014. That's what he calls the set number is 2014, but that's not. Oh, look, BrickTsar's. BrickTsar's on the hunt. I mean, the only thing that's even remotely special about it is the little cabinets, the 2x3 cabinets that are printed. Everything else looks to be very. Yeah, there's your instructions back there. You see my mouse? Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'll do a video, obviously, when I get it.
Bear.
I couldn't find it. And I'll take pictures and document it and do all the 9 yards and send it to BrickLink. Normally I would do, if it was a vintage set, I'd just put it on BrickSet myself. But being that it's something like this, I'll probably send the information to, or at least ask a question to Hugh or one of his people saying, hey, how do you want to do this? Because
well, if anything, if that's official Lego branding and not
right.
That's one thing, then BrickLink might approve it. But I know like they got rid of all the custom stuff.
Right. And they may not approve it even if it was something they did, they still may not approve it just because it's
it might have been a giveaway and not
a giveaway to the guy says there's only 200 of them. And I think that guy's kind of one of those where he collects the bear test bricks and stuff, which
no, that's a rabbit hole that I've avoided. I mean, I have a lot of those.
Yeah.
CF and what's the other letter? There's like 3 different letters.
I have a set of them right there, which has the letters on them. And then some of those are test colors, or there's one that's marbled.
Yeah.
But I just have some just because I was able to pick them up cheap and just to say I had them, but I ain't collecting them. You're right. That's a rabbit hole.
It's a big rabbit hole.
Crazy.
And my limitation is only if it's got the Lego logo on the studs.
Okay.
And I'll collect it.
Yeah. Well, so some of the test bricks, especially the ABCD one, they don't, obviously. They just got the letters. So there's Yeah.
I mean, I've had people offer to sell me those, and I'm like, no, I don't want. I don't want any more test bricks. Even if they're in a color that I don't have in the Lego logo ones, I don't want it.
Right. Yeah. No, that's all I'll get there. And some of those came from Max, so those are, the reputable source. So.
And speaking of test bricks, so some of those I see people selling, and they'll come up with what they call the color, but it's really like a different shade of a green brick or a red brick, and it's like, are they just trying to sell like a discolored brick or a brick that there's no consistency, like Earl had with his bricklink order?
I'm telling you, it was not. That couldn't have been. I would have noticed some differences.
Yeah,
I mean, when you got a pile of like 40 or 50 bricks, when you're counting them out, I don't know.
Well, like Jabbo said, if they were really light gray bricks, then the dude's like, oh, hey, I got a, don't say anything. I just got a gold mine.
Yeah.
Especially for all new. And you don't deal in used bricks, do you?
I just think to have a light gray is now 19 years removed from being in production.
Right.
So. Yeah, that was strange. Every time I get one of those emails from a buyer, it's kind of, you get that little cringe when you don't want to open that email because most of the time it's I was short one part and it's like, okay, no big deal. We'll fix it. We'll fix that. But this one was like,
it's like a manifesto. Like,
yeah.
Well,
I'm holding your feedback hostage for all this. I'm like,
So there's a good question, right? Okay, so I always give feedback as soon as I pack the order. When I feel like I've done everything that I've done right, they've paid, I've got a label on the package, I've counted, I know what I've sent them. Yeah, could I have made a mistake? Sure, and I will fix it if I did. But if I don't think I did, but other people did or whatever. But at any rate, I put feedback in there. But then, I get this one guy the other day who said, hey, he ordered like 6 pieces, got to the $5 minimum. I have a pretty low minimum, but I do have a minimum. He bought the pieces before I could get it packed. So I was at work. He had sent an email and said, hey, I need these 3 other parts. Could you just combine them? I'll pay for the parts, but just combine the shipping. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's nothing in weight. It was like some 1x1s and a cheese wedge or something. I don't know. I said, yeah, I'll just do another order. Here's the bypass on the thing, and it'll go past the $5. And so I did that. Well, then I invoiced the whole $1 for the other 4 or 5 pieces, whatever it was. But how'd that work? Yeah, I gave him the number. He put like 12 or 15 parts in there that he wanted to ship, not just the ones that he listed. It still ended up only being like $1.30. And so I sent him an invoice with no shipping, said I'll put it all together, no big deal.
Oh, he had already paid for the other?
He had paid for the other. It was just the extra parts. He was wanting to get it for, essentially free shipping. And he added way more parts than he wanted. It still really didn't matter to the shipping weight because it didn't kick it over a whole nother ounce or anything. But then he didn't want to pay that. He said, well, hang on, I want to look for more stuff in your store.
Oh, no.
So
no.
It got up to the holidays. So I told him, I said, look, it's Christmas week. I'm shutting the store down because I got things to do. And he paid it and I shut it down. But he had me because that second invoice, both invoices, he had not left feedback. I had left feedback on the first one, but not the second one. So I'm like, yeah, if this guy is kind of holding me hostage, like you said, on feedback. So he's now cleared. He's
see, that's what this guy is like, I want to ban him like we talked about.
Right.
But I don't want to.
You got to wait till he clears his feedback.
Yeah, but he might not do that until I give him the coupon, but I don't want to give him the coupon until he asks for it. I sent him an email and explained to him, and I told him that they're definitely not light gray because that's vintage and there's no vintage in my store. And I said sometimes because of the plastic, the shades are different. I've parted out sets and the same set and got different shades out of different boxes. And
Sure.
I said, I can give, I'll offer you a 20% off coupon, excluding minifigs. And he just responded and says, that'll be fine. But I don't want to give him the coupon until he.
Well, yeah, that's where I would rather give him his money back than give him a coupon, because then you're
Right.
going to have to
opening up
deal with
for
him
another-
again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
That's true.
it's like the guy that always said I was short pieces.
Right.
It's like, I don't want to keep dealing with him. And then he gets his account banned, and he creates another account and gets that one banned and
this
creates
guy-
another account.
So this guy makes an order, and I invoiced him, and then he added to the order. So I had the B. You get the B order,
Mhm.
and on that one he put a note and says I won't be able to pay till Friday. And I actually didn't even read it. I just invoiced him again. So then he adds a C to it. So now he's got, and then that's when I invoiced him again, and then I read the note. I'm like, oh, okay. So he actually did. He paid on Friday like he said he was going to, and I sent it off on Saturday, and everything was fine until you get this email and you're like, oh, gee, what is this?
Yeah.
What kind of propaganda is this?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like you said, that's when you get yours all clear and done. That's what the BrickLink stop list is for. You just stop him from.
Yeah, and I always appreciate it when people let me know when they're, you don't want to put anybody on blast. And I think it's more like he just doesn't understand. Even his message, he recognized that there can be color variations, but dude, it's normal. It's not, these aren't like used parts that somebody left out in the sun.
He's expecting better from us than he is
from Lego.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude, that's what I thought about that, because what if he would have got a bricks and pieces order?
Yeah. Oh,
I've seen it in a
there
set.
you go.
And he would have got 80 of the same piece, and there was a couple color variations straight from Lego from the.
Yeah, and if he ordered anything else, they'd just be all thrown in one bag.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
I don't like people like trying to hold your feedback for ransom. So I don't negotiate with terrorists.
Well, I guess to bring this back, do you leave your feedback before they leave?
I'd leave it. I always leave my feedback immediately, just because I'm going to never do it. Look at it again.
I have a bad habit. I'll wait and every couple weeks go in there and catch them all up.
Yeah.
And I have had, like, number one, I've had mistakes that we've made.
Yeah.
But people, like, they do the right thing and they message you. And then I always give them, like, I find what was missing and send it to them. If I can't find it, I give them more back than what the parts were, and I give them a coupon.
That's what I usually do.
They usually come out way better. In fact, the one guy, when I was missing those 1x1 blue plates, we had made an error on a previous order and sent, like, instead of they were in the bags of 25. Right. I think I mentioned that. Did I mention that on the show? I probably did, but
you sent them the bags instead of
25 pieces. We sent them 25 bags. So I was short the bags, and I said, "There's no way I can make it." I tried to make it up, and then he had no idea. This is before I even shipped his order, and I I apologized to him. Then I had to explain it to him like several times before I even shipped his order. I was like, "Look, we made a mistake," and I said, "This is what I'm offering you." And then once he understood it, he was just like, "Well, oh," and by the way, he got the order. He's like, "Wow, that was a lot of bags." Because it was a box of, I still, even though we'd made the mistake, we still had a whole bunch of those bags of 25 ones. And I wasn't going to open them up.
Right.
He's going to, that might be annoying to him having to open it up each bag, but.
Yeah. It's a shame that didn't have a part number in itself. Somebody probably would have bought those.
I should have saved one of them.
Yeah.
That was a Lego Education thing.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like I've bought other Lego Education bags of things that they used to have back in the day, and none of them are on BrickLink. And
Yeah, that's.
I didn't feel like submitting it, and I don't think it's. I mean, it's like a service pack. So.
Right. It becomes a hassle if it's not already on BrickLink. Excuse me. Speaking of something that's on BrickLink that did not exist previously, so Blockhead UK sent. I don't know if she sent it to all of us or if she sent it to me or if it was just. Oh, it was in one of my comments. It might have been on the podcast comment. But at any rate, part 92898C01, which is in the show notes, the minifigure utensil pull along duck 3D printed is on BrickLink. Let me see if I can show this.
Are there any for sale?
There is.
This ought to be good.
This ought to be
good.
Well, let's see. There were. I don't know if there's still some for sale or not. Okay, why did my screen do that? There they are.
Cheapest one, $240.
$240.
Are these the ones that? What did they come with?
This is somehow you had to get them at the house.
Oh, like
they
so
came with.
These may become more readily available later.
Yeah, that's kind of the thought process because, well, we say that they might become readily in sets, but they may be a different color.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
If you think about it, it's like, okay, it's doable, it works. It might come with a CMF for all we know, but it might be a yellow one with a CMF.
But if they mass produce them so that they come in a CMF, they won't be 3D printed and it'll be a completely different thing, right?
Oh.
The uniqueness here is supposedly because it's 3D printed, the duck's beak moves.
Yeah.
Supposedly. I can't imagine that one that is printed or is
it has a certificate of authenticity.
Yeah, here's a picture of that, right? I don't know. I can't imagine. I have not bought one, and nor will I at that price. $1,000 is the most expensive one. With original car, limited to $999. I think that number will go up though.
Can you go back up to the top and see recent sales?
Price guide.
Yeah, where's that at? Oh yeah, view price guide. Did they move that? Please select the color.
No, it's a tab in the middle to the lower.
Well, hang on. Wants me to pick a color first.
Oh, there's a not applicable. So some had not applicable selected.
Oh, did they?
So go down. Oh, there it is. There's one up there too. Yeah, people buying them. $312. Somebody paid $940.
Max price.
That must have been.
That must have been one of the first ones on there.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. Somebody thought, oops. That's when there was only like two listed. One was 5,000 and one was 940.
That may have been Duck Bricks.
Surely he went to the house and got him himself, right? Surely. Anyway. So
you can add that to the list of things we will probably never own.
Never own, yeah. Mr. Gold, 3D duck, 3D printed duck, the pogo stick from the book, all things that I will never own. I saw on eBay the other day, somebody had a Mr. Gold, and by the pictures of it, you could tell that they had found it in a bulk bin. So somebody got it, didn't know what it was, probably just a kid or something, but it had been in their toys. It had the body and the head. The body. It didn't have the walking stick. It did have the hat, but it was just mangled.
Yeah,
paint chipped off. It was. It had been well loved, like I like to say. They still wanted like $600 for it.
Wow.
So when was that, Jabbo? Were you going around? That's when you gave up feeling packs after you searched for that, right?
I felt a few. But, it got pretty tedious after a while, and I bought cases of them. But unfortunately, that was one that you could buy 10 cases and get none.
None.
And I wouldn't be surprised if there was like 1,000 of them that made it out into the wild that people just, parents buying them.
Oh,
And they could show up at a Goodwill. They could be in the landfill right now. There's no telling.
Oh, I guarantee you there's plenty of them that are in the trash or sold at a yard sale that are on their second or maybe even third person who has no idea what that figure is.
So some people that were acquainted with me but didn't know about my Lego collecting, we got to talking about it. And they were talking about how they just, when their kids stop playing with their Lego, they don't want them anymore. The kids don't want them anymore. And they just get rid of them. And I'm like, this is not uncommon.
Right.
Not at all.
We're like these people that watch YouTube videos and make YouTube videos. We're rare in the actual Lego community.
We're very limited and unique. Even my daughter, who knows, the whole mess that I go, I've got 2 more sets that these are completely built on base plates that she's brought. She said, Dakota's room, they kind of have a strict thing. Something new comes in, something's got to go out. So when it comes to Lego, it's, guess what? So it comes to my house. He's got a tub here that's full of stuff. Now he's bringing whole sets. It's like, what do you want to do with this? My daughter said, well, I think it probably needs to go in the city. I'm like, really?
Where's it going to fit?
Thank you very much. I need a city garage to fit in with my modulars. So, but Dakota's working on his own layout in our basement, so that's probably where that stuff will go. So, we'll see.
That ought to be pretty interesting.
It would be like the guy on Reddit that said something about his post was, it was a meme making fun of people like us that do videos about their Lego City, and it said it started out with new Lego City update, and it showed something, and he goes, then he shows a picture of like his 10-year-old, and he said, if I knew that's how you can make money on YouTube, we'd do a new city update every day, because it just showed like a kid's just built stuff, because kids change their city every day.
Oh, speaking of your city, what is Dakota's hang up with traffic?
I have no idea. I told him that. I said, Earl wants to know why you want all your cars parked together. He's like, well, they're waiting at the light. I was like, what?
I bet if he gets in a real traffic jam on the interstate, he's going to be in heaven.
No, I don't. I know his dad, and he's not a real big traffic guy. So I kind of think that there's a lot of excitement in the car when traffic starts. So Dakota just thinks, oh, there's traffic. So it must be exciting. No, it ain't. It's not. It's really kind of boring. So he also listens to our podcast. They play it in their basement whenever, whatever. But she said anytime he hears his name, they got to come and watch and then rewind it. So every time we say Dakota, he's going to run over there and have to rewind it and watch it, see what we said about him. So you know what the secret word of the day is.
Next time we get Jacob on, he'll have to be like that. Instead of mystery machine,
So I got a request from Chris Cummings. He put this on another video, on one of my other videos, and he said, could you guys please give us your thoughts on the podcast on when Lego sealed sets started becoming popular and expensive?
Well,
crickets.
I bought some when I started, I guess, kind of really getting back into collecting.
Mm-hmm.
I bought sealed 9-volt cross track, 3 of them for like $15.
Okay,
a lot of 3 for $15, sealed.
Right.
And I think when people started realizing that the greengrocer and the what's the other one? What's the other one? The one that goes with the greengrocer, Cafe Corner.
Yeah.
When they started realizing that those 2 sets sealed, well, I think that's when, which I guess, what is that, about
2007?
Yeah, around 2008, give or take. Yeah. So, and I think just from then, but it's really blown up over the last 3 years.
Is it getting out of control though?
I think it is.
Yeah. So the last 15 years, and so that to me that 2000, the beginning of the modular era, this is when all this started. And it, Star Wars was there, but there's some outliers with the Star Wars sets, the early Star Wars sets, but it's really the more 2010s and up that are really what goes up exponentially. It seems like compared to older sets. It's like, I've been doing all these vintage sets. Like a lot of them you still get for like $10 with the box.
Right.
Some of the small sets.
Right.
Like,
Right.
You couldn't it's like a $10 set today, like say like a battle pack. It's not going to be worth $10 in 20 years. It's going to be worth 50 or 100. But these sets, these 70 sets, there's no demand for them.
There you go. Yeah.
And
Well, it also has a lot to do with a lot of it is minifigs.
Yes.
Minifigs drive a lot of. I mean, outside of modulars and big sets like that, they're driven by minifigs.
Yes.
Because since I think they kind of blew up with COVID, I guess the collecting niche
It can also be
between sports cards and Lego and pop culture items and you name it, everybody was a collector all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And all that whatnot stuff.
Yeah,
and whatnot, the price of the minifigs, which are in the sets.
Yeah. Whatnot is like. Whew.
How did the Joker Manor? How did those minifigures become $100 minifigures in Joker Manor? How?
Because it's the only one you can get it in. There was
but there's a lot of sets.
There's figs right now that are from the Solo movie. That those sets could just have filled up a landfill because nobody wanted them.
Yeah.
But they had figures in them that were unique to those sets, and so if you got the right set, you're sitting on a little gold mine because of the figs in it.
Is that people going back realizing? So like Star Wars is one of those a theme that if you're new, okay, let's say you're a new 14-year-old kid and you're getting lawnmower or grass cutting money or whatever, and you start buying the things that are available currently, and then you realize, oh, there's all these cool sets that existed 10, 20 years ago, and you start, is that what's driving these up? Is people realizing, oh, there's other things out there?
First of all, I don't think 14-year-old kids cut grass for money anymore.
Maybe not.
Second, they're not worried about sets. They're worried about the clones that were in those sets. The clones. That's all you hear. Clones. You got any clones? Clones.
Kids are clones. So when I was in high school, it was my observation, and I think it applies today as well, is that in everybody's attempt to be different, they end up being like everybody else. So everybody wants to, I'm going to do clones, and it's like, but that's what everybody else is doing.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, but I don't understand how quickly when things become discontinued that they can go up, whereas other things that don't have custom minifigures don't. But I like the city. I don't even think about buying Lego City sets now.
No, and I don't think they'll be valuable in the future either.
It's like I'll find those at Goodwill if I want one day.
Yeah.
However, some of the minifig parts will surprise you.
So what's the most valuable minifigure that's not in a Star Wars, Marvel, Harry Potter, or otherwise licensed set? Like it's just like what's the most valuable like Lego City? I'm not even counting Ninjago. It's like it has to be like
the most valuable Legos. That would be a good homework assignment. The most valuable
city
licensed minifigure.
So not even like the CMFs.
No, not the CMFs.
It would have to be, which by the way, Whatnot is ridiculous on C. It's like people. It's like you $12. You could get that off Brinkley for $4. What are you doing?
So I know Ryan. He's sponsored by Whatnot, so he did a video buying weird things, and I was like, "Why did you pay $41 for that pin?" It was one of those stupid pins that I have them, that Lego made that you could take they're like beads that go on the ends of them. He paid like $41.
yeah.
And then he had another minifigure. It's like a custom. He paid $64 for it, and I'm like, why? Yeah, Whatnot's crazy.
Yeah, Whatnot's there. Yeah.
So Lego, you got what? Lego Town, Lego City, Lego System. What else is there?
Well, I mean, for your minifigures, it's going to be town and city, right? I mean, I guess system.
Because vintage castle figs are pretty pricey.
Mhm.
Vintage pirate figs are pretty pricey. They're not as pricey as Star Wars, but they're pretty pricey, you know. So
I guess it'd be more like a town or city. I might even have to take castle and pirates and space out of it.
Yeah.
Town and city. Yeah.
Yeah, town and city.
Because town and Legoland, town and city all kind of are the same
generic
lineage.
figures.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. We'll have to look it up and see. We'll kind of report back and see what the most expensive one is.
But yeah, I would say sealed sets started. I think it all started with the modulars.
Modulars. I think you're right.
And then it went to Star Wars, and because of the figs.
Well, I think it was in the book, The Secret Life, the Red Book. They talk about the modulars and how they kind of surprised Lego a little bit because people were buying 6 sets of the Corner Cafe, and they're like, "Why? What is going on? Why are people buying so many sets?" Well, they were doing what was on the back of the box.
You advertised it that way.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't. Maybe because other things they wanted people to buy multiple of, they didn't.
Yeah,
I guess.
But
why would you buy 2 garages or something out of a city set, or 2 fire departments out of a city set? You got 1 fire department, unless you're going to make a bigger one. And if you didn't have they provided the instructions on how to build a bigger Corner Cafe, even though they didn't build it. They didn't give you instructions. They showed you, just put 3 more. And Jamie said that they made the middle. I never really paid attention. I guess I just didn't know that the middle floor is supposed to be stackable. So apparently even today they're still that way, that the middle floor is repeatable. I'd have to look. I don't know if that's true, but you have a roof and you have a base, but usually there's a middle floor in there that
I guess it would have to do with the aesthetics on the outside.
Oh yeah, some of that would not look
like
right.
If there's a sign on the outside, or
I've seen people at some of the conventions and they do the same thing, and it's great. Some of them look great. Some of them you need to go wider to get that height. If you just go straight up, it doesn't look right. Well, that's kind of what they did with the Corner Cafe. It was they had kind of built a whole 2 corners, so you took 2 sets and then started stacking them higher. So, at any rate, that was what was on the box.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right. I think isn't it Jamie that did that? He did
he designed the cafe corner.
And the first two were
he's still part of that group.
Well, now he is over the whole what do you call it? The
experts or icons.
Icons. Yeah. He's over that whole theme. So all the people who designed for that theme work under him.
Do y'all remember a time when I was clamoring for a Lego roller coaster?
Yeah.
And Jamie's that's his.
That's his.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the Emerald Knight is his too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And see that.
And he wasn't even a train guy. They just
no, he wasn't. That is an interesting story. You guys got to get that book. That is an interesting story about the train parts and some of the things they did because the train parts had all got discontinued, and some of the things they did, some of the games they play to keep certain parts in production. It's interesting. There's a story in that book about the old battery box. Do I have one? Sorry for my armpit there. I believe it's this battery box. Is this 6 wide or 8 wide? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is 6 wide. This is not, I don't know. At any rate, this battery box, I believe it was this one. They had the mold for this. They hadn't retired it. And they needed the canopy for the X-Wing. Is that the way the story goes? But they didn't have enough production frames. There's a whole story about production. So they talked to the people in the factory and said, can we build an insert into this mold to make that canopy that they wanted. And they're like, yeah, it's what, the cost would be something like this. So they took this old, I don't know if it's specifically this one, but it was one of these battery boxes. And they built an insert that went inside it, which is normal for injection molding, and made that canopy for the first X-Wing. Now, after that, when it was like,
so the first X-Wing's a train set?
Yes. Just like your turtle. Just like your turtle set. Yes. I found that to be, I hate to give Lego props, but that's like really outside of the box thinking for a giant company. Where I work, we couldn't get two groups together to talk about something.
Why did they still have the mold for a box that was from the 80s?
Because it wasn't retired.
It wasn't retired yet. That was kind of the problem. Lego's gone through that a couple times where they have all this stuff. Their inventory gets too big. Then it becomes a problem. What are we going to do about it? Then they do the Great Purge. According to that book, it is, I think, 5 years. If it doesn't get used, it is cheaper to completely remake the mold than it is to continue to warehouse and maintain that mold on the shelf. Now, I don't believe that, but that's their story.
I don't believe it either.
Because we keep a lot of things.
A small country. I don't.
Well, I think what it is it's about storage. They're probably a lot, and we would too. As a big giant corporation, if we set a box of material in a warehouse, that box costs us so much per square foot every year. So if there is a truth to it, but those molds are expensive, and warehousing should be cheap. But I don't know. Maybe it's not for them. I don't know.
Well, you're not dealing. We think in terms of like a part that we want or parts that we want. When there are thousands upon thousands, and then you probably have to have different ones for. You can't reuse them with different colors. You have to make a totally separate mold, even though it's the same. Like when you're making 2x4 bricks, can you make a bunch of red ones and then use the same mold to make green ones?
That's how you get these marble ones, because the guys that are cleaning the machines, what you do is you start with one color. If you're going to clean the mold to clean it, like so you got to repair it or whatever, then they use like what's usually called it's usually an incompatible plastic that you run through, and it kind of scrubs all the material out. Then you actually physically take the mold off the machine, scrape, clean, wipe, whatever you do. But when you're going from like red to blue, you quit running red, and then you may run an intermediate purge color through, or you just may go to blue, and that's how you get crap like this, where they're going in between the colors.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't anything special. This is somebody that was standing there cleaning out the machine between yellow and orange, right? And then threw some of these in his pocket. So this was stolen from the factory. What happened here? But and once that clears up, then you're into that yellow. That is all an expense that Lego, anybody that makes anything plastic uses a mold, they have to account for that. They're going to say, oh, it's going to take an hour to do that, or it's going to take a 2 hour, whatever the time frame is. Usually it's minutes, not hours. But
we were going to experiment with something years ago. This is probably 20 years ago, and it never came to fruition. But they said that the same deal when they run ice cream through the machines, and then they run the next flavor through the machines, they would have the middle that was where the old flavor and the new flavor would mix, and they were going to call it. They had some name for it for this batch. It was going to be like a mix and match batch, or kind of like a mystery flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And they talked about they were going to sell them as this mystery flavor, and they built up the excitement, and it never came to fruition. But it's the same deal about pushing one through, and then you got the next one through. It's where they mix, and you would think they would do that and just sell them in a parts bag for.
They told them they wouldn't be as valuable.
They wouldn't. Well, but here's the thing. So as a guy who actually is in charge of people who make plastic solid sheet, solid sheet plastic. When we switch from one color to the other, it's you drop in the new color. It's gonna look like that for a few minutes, and then it's gonna turn to this muddy color, and then it's gonna slowly turn into the regular color. And that amount of time in there. If we were to stop and say, hey, I want to save all that separate, then now you have, and then you got all the production time and you got to account for it, blah, blah, blah. Because somebody in the bean counter world would be like, how much did that cost us? And whatever. But then your marketing people are going to go, ooh, now we want to sell that. Can you make us that same stuff at 10 zillion pounds of it? No, I can't, because it happens for 5 minutes. So what do you want me to do? Put the other color in and back in every 10
you'd be going
minutes?
back and forth.
Right. Which is probably what happened to your ice cream.
Right.
You know, something like that. It's like, oh, that's a really good idea. And everybody's like, oh, that's a really good idea. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Until the guy at the line at the ice cream machine went, no, this is a terrible idea. Especially when I hook the hose up to it and run some water through it. You guys ain't gonna like that ice cream at all. So, what were we talking about? How did we get on ice cream?
We were talking about why things cost so much.
Yeah. Yes. Why is it cheaper to get rid of a mold and remake it versus warehousing it? So, yeah.
Yeah, and so the scarcity of things and the demand of things are what make things go up in value. We did the thing about parts and sets that are very rare, but nobody wants them.
Right.
And then things that are abundant. It's like it always creates, especially anything made after 1999. Okay, I can remember going in stores and seeing like shelves full of this stuff, and now somebody gets on YouTube and says, "Here's a rare set from 2008." Well, okay, so everybody's opened their box, so I guess it's become rare. But you go onto eBay and there's hundreds of them for sale with the box. It's like it's not rare; it's expensive.
Right.
So, like, trying to think of examples of things that are expensive, that aren't just like the modular.
The NBA players.
Oh my goodness! And probably when I started YouTube, they still were worthless. I paid $1 for the NBA sets. I had stacks of them. I have no idea how many I bought. I probably had 10 to 20 at least of each character pack, and each 3-pack.
Right.
And I tried to sell them on eBay. They would sell anywhere from like $1 to $4. And I was like, it's like wasting my time. So I held on to a few of them. But yeah, 10 years later, nobody still wanted them. And now they're super expensive. It took 20 years for anybody to really want them.
Well, and but that goes back to exactly what you said, supply and demand, right?
Well,
so somebody now wants them, and that's what's driving your price.
Yeah, so I think you're so Jabbo's a longtime collector. I mean, he bought everything new pretty much. You got back into it, but you have a lot of the stuff before the prices got outrageous. Like you have the monorails, you have the classic space sets, you have all that stuff that you probably got it at a quarter of the price of what
it is now. Yeah. And so what's driving that now? Is it just scarcity and there's still enough demand? I mean, I don't know.
I think it's more people want it than
you think it's just so more demand. And the scarcity is the same. It's always the scarcity is always going to be diminishing because they're not making any more. Right? There's always going to be less of them.
And there's always new people coming into the hobby. And so let's say somebody just now they're in their 20s or their 30s and they're starting to get back into Lego and these modulars are great. Oh, they made more of these. And they start back and then like, oh, I'm gonna try to piece this together. No.
No.
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it last year or year before last? I pieced together the cafe corner.
Right.
Yeah.
And that ended up being more expensive than buying one? Or did you get it cheap? Were you able to? You substituted pieces though too. Some of the windows.
No,
I don't think.
No, you went ahead and got the right one.
I got the light gray turntables. I got the red.
Okay.
There's some that the mold changed even during production. So they
Production,
made
okay.
I know my dark reds look different, even though they were dark red. The dark red slopes.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
that was the one. That's when you ordered extra. I think you ordered extra of some stuff and put it in your BrickLink store, didn't you?
Yeah. So I would so technically I spent way more than what it would be, but I bought Bionicle sets that had the dark some of the parts. I had I bought other sets that had the parts, or I bought in bulk and then resold the extras. Yeah.
Speaking of Bionicle, did you see that the pictures of the Bionicle set that's
It's just
leaked?
like Legos, just like they're
They look
toying with these Bionicle fans.
they look horrible, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't seen them.
It's like, how can we anger the Bionicle community?
Poor Bionicle people. Well, Lego still has this fascination with mecha. I think we talked about that mecha, whatever. I don't see it, but I guess it sells.
This must be what kids today like, because they made a Hulk mech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Hulk don't need a mech. They're not a person. Not like the Hulk when he was in which one of the Avengers movies where he Bruce Banner was in a mech, but it's like
Infinity Wars or whatever.
Infinity War.
But
not a Hulk, but he was in a Hulk Buster.
Yeah.
This was a mech that looks like Hulk.
Right.
The one I saw.
Well, have you seen the new Ghost Rider set? It's a Ghost Rider mech. You put the Ghost Rider in the mech, then you put him on the motorbike. It's like, what?
It's like
the mech is riding a motorbike.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I have no interest in this stuff.
Yeah.
Which I guess is good. Saves me money.
Yeah.
Keeps the challenge going.
Keeps the challenge. Well, we're over an hour. Do we want to do some comments?
Let's do some comments.
Yeah, let me dig them up here. So while I'm looking for them, you're going to have to leave us a comment so you can tell Dakota what VHS stands for. So leave that below.
Yeah, Dakota has no clue what a VHS tape is.
As do quite a few people probably.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where's that?
Wait a minute. I don't know what VHS means. I know what VHS is.
You know what it is, but what it stands for, right? Huh. That's a good question. Maybe I don't know.
I know the first two. I'm not positive what the S stands for. I probably could think about it. I know what the V and the H stands for.
It ain't what you think it is.
I know it's like sometimes people, that means video, but it's probably like something else.
Well, I looked it up. I know what it is. So put it in the comments. Yeah, tell Dakota what VHS stands for. Because that surprised me. It's not what I thought it was. I will give you that V is for video.
V is for video. I know what the H is. I think I know what the S is, but I'm not positive on the S.
What did Al Bundy have?
Besides the shoe store?
Did he have a Beta?
Beta? Beta. Do y'all remember what the other one? Whoa, there I go. I got blurry again. There was another. Oh, was it DVD? There was another
Laserdisc.
Laserdisc, yeah.
And there was another. Microsoft, I think, had one. Maybe it was Blu-ray and.
You had Blu-ray and DVD, but it was
there was something else that was.
Yeah, there was something other than Blu-ray. Yeah, there was also SVHS too. That was kind of weird.
Okay, Eurovisor. My parents saved all of my childhood set Lego. I brought them over to the U.S. last January, about 45 sets. That's pretty lucky.
Yeah,
that's pretty lucky.
That's good.
I wonder what the year time frame that is.
Yeah.
Let's see. Gear and Bricks. I hope you like salads and sandwiches, Jabo. Great show, guys. I am told by BrickTrains that I am still in the contest since I found a loophole. Rest in peace, Joey. Also, I'm really excited because I will be buying my third Emerald Knight train set in February. Here's hoping I can build a longer mixed train to run at shows. Well, if you wait till February, you
Why is
qualify
he waiting until February?
because he's in the contest.
He's in the contest.
Oh, okay, I got you. Oh, so I'm slow.
Unlike me, he's in the contest.
He's still in. He's not out yet. Brick Badger, I very much enjoyed listening to you three place exceptions into your by January. Can't wait to hear the outcome. One of my 23 goals is to not fall down any Lego collecting rabbit holes this year.
Yeah.
Godspeed to all of us. So
I just thought of something because of other people joining in the challenge of not buying things and other people watching YouTube videos. I think social media, not just YouTube, but probably Instagram and TikTok along with YouTube, that's another thing that causes these sets to go up in value because people had no knowledge before.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Jay Cork, great show, guys. If only the Lunar New Year sets came out on the 1st instead of the 10th, I might have been able to meet the January challenge. Well, spoiler alert, that's why I waited to the 10th.
I know there's still no purple air tanks or helmets on them.
So did we attempt to do the illegal purchase?
No, I didn't.
I didn't. I did.
I wanted to know if it
actually
would work.
I mean,
but I don't want to be dishonest.
It didn't work for me.
Oh, it didn't. You actually tried?
Well, okay. So I went in there and I found them, and I guess I was in the broken or missing parts section.
Yeah.
Which so I found them.
Talking about it.
Well, probably not, but I didn't, and I honestly thought it was going to take me to a place to get them because it said they were available, and I put them, and you put them in your cart, and then it got to the end, and I thought the next thing was, I'm like, oh hey, I'm doing it. I'm going. No idea what they were going to cost. Just like, oh, what? When I got to the end and it said, thank you, we'll review your request. And I'm like, what? What did I do? And that's what I think I was talking to you, and you were like, "That's the way that's dishonest." You should. I'm like, I didn't realize what I was doing.
No, because you don't. Those are free.
I didn't realize that. I didn't think anything was free in life anymore.
But yeah, actually, they are. It's a replacement part, is what it is.
Yeah. So, but I have not got a feed. I didn't do it on my regular account.
You'll get an email, and the email will tell you that it's, that they're been accepted and it's on its way or whatever.
Well, I haven't got an email,
but you usually get that email. You usually get the first email just like a Lego order.
I didn't get
just like a Lego order, within an hour.
Yeah, I didn't get nothing. So I'm hoping that maybe it just didn't go through. So because that's not what I intended. I did not intend to try to cheat them. But I thought I was going.
That is the way to find things that aren't available in Bricks and Pieces.
Well, that's what I was doing. I thought I was being sneaky about finding them because I've seen these people that'll come up with stuff and they get it out of Bricks and Pieces and how did you get that? I don't see.
When the Orange Spaceman came out, there was people who had handfuls of them.
Yes, and I never found them on there, so I think they're on there now. But continue on.
Dude, Jude, hey Jabbo, Earl, and Joey, another good one, guys. I can't remember the word. Keep up the good work.
I don't know what it is either.
SG, I just broke down my train setup during the podcast. Storing it properly will be in a few days with an old podcast. But at least now our living room can be used again after 10 days of trains. Setting up the track took me 2 days, and I did have to shorten my long bridge to 10 tracks to fit in the room. I just uploaded a train track overview of the finished track in very poor quality as my first YouTube video. I also have some footage of trains running and crashing, so maybe I will post them as well. Train crashes actually do pretty good.
Yep.
Thanks for the podcast, SG from Belgium. P.S. Now that I've experienced how to make a poor quality video on YouTube, extra respect for you guys for making decent ones. Well, we're experts at bad quality. Let me just tell you that. We'll just start there. Yeah, that's could you imagine that taking 2 days to put up a layout on your floor, and then you're just like, it
Tear
takes
it
like
down.
30 minutes to tear it down.
Wow.
No, that's like mad respect to the people that make those videos, because
Yeah.
I have video ideas in my head, and that's why you never see them, because it's a lot of work.
A lot of work.
Mhm.
I'm still waiting for your blue track special down the
Yeah.
football field.
That's what I actually, I'll be at work and I'll be thinking about it. Like, where can I set up just like a continuous straight track? We got the sidewalk that goes around the neighborhood. It's like I want to set it up around the whole neighborhood, but I'm like, I think somebody's going to back out of their driveway and run over it. I'd have to get permission from everybody. There's just one stretch, or there's a couple of long stretches that are probably over 500 feet where there's no driveways.
Is that where you did the bricks?
Well, the bricks I did right in front of the house. That's probably 100, less than 100 feet.
That was pretty cool.
Thank you. Double domino brick effect.
Yeah, that was pretty well. Battery powered bricks. A UPS drop in the grocery store. Is it right next to the machine to test the vacuum tubes for your TV?
Come on now, we have 2 whole stoplights now. Come on.
They still have vacuum tube service.
I remember using those now. Come on. When I was a kid.
They don't have vacuum tubes. It's still telegraph. There.
Telegraph.
Gears and bricks. We've lost Earl. Must be a warm front. So there's 2 Mr. Freezes. Jabo's hobbies are growing in number. He will have to quit Lego if he starts collecting drink coasters too.
Drink coasters.
Yeah, you ever go to the restaurants and they all have the drink coasters with their, or wherever,
Wherever you're from.
You'd be proud to know I stopped collecting stamps years ago. In coins.
Speaking of your collection, have you made any progress on the clearing out the comics?
No. Absolutely not.
Well, at least you're keeping that streak alive.
Yeah, okay. That it's been March will make 27 years since I stopped collecting. I have bought a few comic books,
but the good thing about your collection is it's such a wide range that with all these movies coming out, you'd just be like, "Oh, I think I got that one."
Yeah. So, like the Moon Knight, I had all these Moon Knight. In fact, the Moon Knight comic books were some of the ones that have the Lego ads on the back of them, including Moon Knight #1.
Oh.
And so, yeah, when that TV show came, even though the TV show stunk, it's like those comic books jumped up in value. So I did sell a Moon Knight, and I still got a few more Moon Knight #1 I can sell. But
so, did you have any She-Hulks?
Yeah,
I think they did the same thing.
Yeah.
See the stuff I
have to find them now because I don't know where I put. I was like, let me look through my worthless comic books that were in the quarter bin, and then tell somebody make a TV show on this.
Well, Marvel and DC are digging deep, so surely they'll find something you got.
Well, DC is every 6 months they're relaunching because they can't keep up with Marvel, so they have to revamp their whole system.
We were talking about this at work. That it seems like DC is struggling bad at the movies and everything, or the TV shows, the comic books, the whole 9 yards. I don't do anything in the comic books. So. Huh?
They fired Superman. So.
It is like, and I'm guessing they already decided there's not going to be another Black Adam. Didn't they just do that show?
Yeah, well, that's what they did. They scrapped. They're starting over. They're starting over the DC universe. So James Gunn, who was the guy who did the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, he is now the Kevin Feige of the DC world. Kevin Feige. So that's supposed to all start over.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
Oh, you know what? This is the same reason I stopped collecting comic books. It is. I mean, it's like they kept redoing stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm tired of this.
Blockhead UK. Well, I have failed no buy January already with a nice haul. But if last year is anything to go by, I won't be buying any more sets till about August.
Wow.
Well, that's pretty. That's better than a month. Last year I had a habit of buying a lot of Lego because I wanted all the gift with purchases.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good gift with purchases last year.
I got 10 of the the one that was the train. I think I got at least 10 of them.
Yeah.
I
I
didn't
don't
go that
have 10,
crazy.
but I got 5.
I didn't go that crazy. I just wanted one, and then a bunch of them I got duplicates.
Mm-hmm.
But
well,
I only got one of the BlackTron. I did want to
Ooh.
get 2 of those, but it doesn't.
It's still available.
It's till the 14th.
I got mine yesterday.
Is it till the 14th?
I go use my VIP points. I got $200 and something in VIP points I could use.
There you go. You
but
can get the,
what if I can't? I will have to waste some of my VIP points because there's no way to make it exactly 200 or exactly 180 your order. You'd have to make it actually come under.
Or spend money and lose the contest.
Yeah, you'd spend 1 cent and lose the contest.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you've bought a set for $199.99 and used the $200, it was like you'd have to pay a penny.
Yeah, you'd have to add a CMF to get it to $200 to get your BlackTron.
Now they actually do things right on that. I've noticed, like with the $50 thing, if you bought something $49.99, they still gave you the $50 promotion. You didn't have to go.
Well, it's worth a shot if you can find $200 that you want to spend, that you want to buy.
Is there anything coming out? Isn't already out? The only thing
you could So I got the float set because I not just for the Purple Spaceman. That's like a bonus because I really wanted the float.
Oh, okay.
So I got that, and then I got 2 6-packs, and that got me to.
That's the only thing I think I would want is.
I think I was a little short. You could get the new Quinjet.
I think I'm done with superhero sets.
Are you?
Yeah, unless you're parting it out,
because they're all mechs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were worried about spending money, and you can't think of nothing to spend your money on.
Well, Lego's done a good job of getting me disinfected. Well, there's all these art sets and flowers and things that I actually am more interested in now.
Yeah.
That I can do without them.
Kai Lehman, about how today's kids play with Lego. I knew 2 very different versions, both the same age. A boy who has no problem building huge sets. We did the haunted house together when he was 8.5. But then he puts everything on a shelf and that's it. And then I know a girl who has a few sets on display, like the Friends Treehouse, which is by far her biggest set. And I think she's even a bit scared to break. Or all of her Frozen sets with a nice blue light effect, while she plays and builds a lot with her other sets. So she displays a few sets, and the rest of them, she just, like we talked about, she must just have a bucket of. You ever think about from a parent's perspective? So let's say you buy the new Quinjet is $90. It's $100. So let's say you got a kid who loves Avengers, and you buy him the Quinjet, and then 3 months from now, it's like, where's that? It's right there, that box of parts. Well, I could have bought any box of parts for that.
That is a change, right? Because when I was a kid, and I'm assuming that you guys were similar, you bought a set, it got played with for a little while, but then it went in with the parts, and then I free built from that. Now, a lot of times it was, like, because I had several space sets, so a lot of times it was always space themed stuff that I was building. But my parents, if I got the Lego out, and let's say I went out in the living room for more room, got all that Lego out, by the end of the day, whatever I built, it had to go back in the denim bag, and you pulled it up and take it back to your room. They didn't care what you built. I was like, oh, okay, great for you. You built something. Get it in your room. I don't want to step on it. My daughter is completely the opposite. It's like that model's built. It could be glued. I mean, That's built.
Yeah, I'd go through phases. I kept all my instruction booklets, and I would
Yeah.
free build, and then I would just get a wild hair, and I would pull the instructions out, and I would rebuild all the sets.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like to rebuild my sets too. Now, I don't have any memories of too many mocks that I built. I built marble runs sometimes that were small, but I only had a few sets, and some of them I could build from memory because I built them so many times. Like the windmill. That windmill, I mean, I've lost that memory now, but I remember just building it over and over, and I take it apart and build it, and then that's why so many of my parts were broken. Because the more you build and take apart and build and take apart, and some of those parts weren't. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you lose a few, and then once you lost some, it's like. Ugh. But the thing, okay, so for me, it was the Lego idea book.
Yeah.
And wanting to build the model that was in the Lego idea book, but not knowing. I remember going to the store and like, I can't find a set that has these parts in it. How am I going to build this?
Right. Right. I somewhere along the line, I had a book that had the trains in it, and some of the picture of like the big train layout and stuff that, and it was just never available. Of course, my dad, we collected an O-gauge train, so there was going to never be Lego trains in the house. It was all O-gauge train, and I was fine with that.
Do you think those H-scale cars and the smaller buildings were kind of thought to be compatible with an H-scale train layout?
Like HO scale?
Yeah, HO scale. Like when they designed those, do you think
I think so.
They advertised them as HO scale.
Yeah, 1/84 scale.
But did they advertise them like compatible with the HO scale train?
We got the one the box that I got from Joey that has the picture of it with the trains.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that now.
Yeah. No, I absolutely think that was their intention.
Yeah.
Because in Europe that was big deal. Is it O.O. in Europe, or they call it H.O.? Or is
O.O. is it's more likely to be O.O. in most areas. I think Markland might call their stuff H.O.
H.O.
But by the way, I guess I should have offered to buy the stuff from Dad Bod.
Oh yeah,
he sold it to Atlanta Brick Company. I was like,
all the new stuff that he bought,
all the HO scale stuff.
Oh,
and I'm like, no, don't sell it to them.
Well, like, they're going to maximize his price, though.
Yeah, the price is going to be through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Did he sell it to him, or did he consign it?
No, he probably sold it to him.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah,
he had actually emailed me at one point. I don't know if I offended him or not. I didn't mean to. If I did, sorry if I offended you, Keith. But he asked me the price. What if? Because he said they offered him to buy it all, or well, he was talking about the parts part, not the HO stuff. So I told him between $20 and $30 for those, because that's what I see.
Oh, the boxes,
the parts boxes and stuff.
Yeah.
And he quickly replied and said, "Oh, I think they're worth way more than that." Okay. Chris at Atlanta Brick Company is going to offer me a bulk price as well. Then I would take it, whatever, especially if you think it's going to be more. But he's got built-in store, and he probably has built-in customers that are looking for that just through the store, not just through BrickLink.
Right.
He's better set up. He's probably one of the biggest retail store.
When I look at others, like when people do their bricks and minifigs, and there's only 2 stores in the country that I consider like really good, and that's Atlanta Brick Company and Warminster Brick, or whatever he's called now. Bricks on the Dollar store.
Yeah, he calls it something different now. Yeah,
he's where Bucks County is where he's at now.
Yeah,
I think he should just call it Bricks on the Dollar, so wherever he goes, he can keep the name.
Yeah.
But Chris Cummings says a series of American stadiums might be pricey because of the names in the teams. That's true.
Oh, that's true.
You'd have to get NFL licensing, or you'd have to get the Mercedes-Benz license.
I mean, look how much those Oyo things cost.
I know.
Yeah.
those would be neat, and I think a large number of professionals would have those in their offices. Excuse me, especially if they're parents. Lego is a great way to bond and spend time together for parents and kids. What stadium would Ryan want? Boston?
Yeah.
We bought the Cardinals, and it wasn't the full stadium. It was just kind of like a facade from that Oreo and some of the players and stuff, because we're Cardinals baseball fans, but it's horrible. You can't hardly build it. The quality is real. Lego's pricey, but it was pricey for what it was, and it was not the same quality. Sorry, if Lego didn't exist, it would probably be just fine, but Lego exists, so it didn't meet the standard.
There's I actually destroyed some of that stuff between Oyo or Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
The
LeBron James and Kobe Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sin Killer Tachikawa. Some smaller regional airports offer X-ray candy scanning for Halloween. If this is a worthwhile debatable, maybe if you took the sealed box to the airport and asked nicely
to see what's in it.
That would be funny. You mind running this through that machine right there? Steve Bricker,
like a little man in there with the coming out of his head. That's what it is.
Steve Bricker, well, that is 1 week, and I have not ordered anything yet. Do you think Lego is hurting? Do you think they'll even notice that I have stopped buying? Let's get those prices reduced. Toys R Us had a for real life-size foosball table for $149 Canadian. Way better than the disaster Lego is trying to grip.
Hey, I saw Brick Revolution did his video about the discontinued sets, and it's like the foosball tables on there of like set to retire, not discontinue, but set to retire in 2023. It's already on the retired list.
That is crazy.
Brian's Bricks, great show. Chris Cummings, I just took the Lego ecology footprint test. My Earth overshot day is 06. May I live on 2.9 Earths. I hope a star destroyer enters Earth orbit on that day and calls for all Earth governments to surrender because of their ecological footprint. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I saw that and I was like, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's the amount of plastic you own, right?
Yeah.
Lego had something where they built something. I don't know if it was a store or one of their buildings, but it was like carbon neutral. Does anybody know what carbon neutral means?
Yeah, I know what it's supposed to mean.
Yeah, it's such a scam. It's like they carbon was emitted to build that building, to make the products that are in that building, but they went and said they put money towards trees. So it's like the that scam with the Irish land plot thingy.
Right.
That's what carbon neutral means.
Well, big businesses could sell their carbon credits too to become other companies can become carbon neutral. Yeah.
Dad bod, send you both pictures. Mama didn't raise no dummy. My guess and newfound purpose is to help you fail.
Yeah. Well, you're not helping me fail when you sell the stuff to somebody else.
Yeah, there ain't no doubt. Yeah.
I thought he was going to list it in his BrickLink store.
That's what he was doing. But I
don't know why he would sell it to them when he could sell it in his BrickLink store. I'm sorry.
It was probably a quick turnaround. He probably bought a big lot and then they offered to buy it, and so he had a quick turnaround.
Well, he has a big lot coming too, right? Because that's not what he sold. He sold the stuff that he already had. He bought another
stuff he had.
Yeah. So he's got another, because he's got some stuff that I'm interested in. That I hope it don't go to Brick or go to Atlanta Brick Co.
Oh, yeah, I hope it don't.
We're wanting.
I hope it doesn't even go to BrickLink.
Well, the thing is, he could go to BrickLink. That's fine. I've got sets on BrickLink now that I think, are interesting. They ain't selling. One, you can't find them on BrickLink.
Yeah,
I haven't tried.
Weren't looking for them.
Well, that's part of it, but I know the part number and it won't search for it. There's weird. I don't know. Any rate, there's just ain't that many people that know what some of that stuff is, especially that Samsonite brown.
And that's why it's so hard to price. It's so hard to price. And I think that's, from Dad Bod's perspective, you put something on there, you don't want to sell it for too low,
sure,
or too high. I don't know. I would err on the side of listing things high and bring them down, but even then, if there's nothing to compare it to.
Well, so like the train up here, you guys give me crap about, but that.
Or have you ever seen one before or since?
But it was an auction too, so somebody else was bidding against me.
Yeah,
it ain't like I just bought it blind out of the blue. So somebody else was interested.
Keel Jones says, "You guys collect boxes that you don't even know what's inside it." Apparently,
yeah. Give us the opportunity, the right circumstances.
Yeah.
Correct.
Chris Cummings, I left out some of the mini Technic figures of mine at work in the kids' play area. The next day, I found them dissected. Horrifying. Body parts hidden in the nooks and crannies of the play area. As far as me knowing all that I could about Lego is one of the reasons that I watch you all. I have too many projects going on at once, and I never thought about being curious about Lego and the history of sets, etc. until 2019. I wonder how many people who have families get into Lego YouTube and go in full force, then are bankrupt within 2 years just to keep up with the insanity Lego throws at us with so many sets every year. And some disappear faster than I can realize that those sets are rarities, such as the Andor set. Yes, I'm slow with Lego purchases. I bought 75573 Avatar instead of the Andor set at Target.
Look, I love those families. I want them to come in, buy the sets this year, and then next year they're in Goodwill. And then people like me who bought a couple of them for investment purposes. You guys go ahead. All those 12-year-old kids that go in and buy them, open them up, play with them as as Lego intended. Go for it. I fully embrace it because the one I got.
Stuff at Goodwill?
Huh?
Do you find stuff at Goodwill?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
No.
You're not looking in the right place.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we know. We know. And if you know, you know.
Right. It's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah. If you know where to find the train track, you know. That was some big boxes.
I think you've mentioned that website before, though, on your channel, haven't you, Jebo? I mean, it's not a secret channel.
I've never spoke it, but it's clear.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I think one time you did. One time you did let it slip.
Oh. Well, I mean, like when I've unboxed stuff, it's like right there on the box.
Right. But I don't have as much luck on. I mean, obviously, you're having pretty good success.
It's like with anything, like with Atlanta Brick Co. They've done some things where they've gone out and bought people's collections.
Sure.
You got to put the work in there. It's like they've drove to up north to get a collection. So that takes work. Finding deals on the internet sometimes takes work. Finding deals at Goodwill. You say you never find anything at Goodwill. You know why you never find anything at Goodwill? Because you're not there when they put it out on the floor.
Right. No,
that's just, you don't have any control over that. But I know a guy that was in the lug down there. He was always finding stuff at the Goodwills, but he would go in
daily.
Yes. All the time. And I happened to find a deal on monorail track. Mm-hmm. It's like I haven't bought monorail track in years because you never can find a good deal on it. And I'm like, I was like, how's nobody bought this yet? I'm like, click, buy now, buy it now.
Right.
Sadler Brick says another good one, guys. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we're getting a nice set of comments every week.
Yeah.
And my channel's actually on an uptick. I blame the podcast completely because there ain't nothing else I'm doing.
So I watched your part out. I think I've got about, I don't know, 5 or 8 minutes left to go. And do you really put stuff, you part out in drawers completely?
Completely.
So you spread the drawers out on the table, and when you part out, you go into the drawers, and then
the drawers you saw me spread out are just those might as well be Dixie cups. So what they did is they came out of, I have 4.
Right. I follow you. I was just thinking that, man, that's a lot of put it in this, a lot of moving pieces you got there.
Well, so twice. Is that right? Yeah, I sort them all out into those cups or those drawers or whatever. And then I go to the computer and I sort by remarks. So all the empty remarks come up first. And then I just start going to these drawers wherever I have an empty hole. So I just put them into that and then put them away.
What I do, it seems like it might save you a little bit, is I put them all in these little cups. I don't use the drawers. Right. So I have them all stored in this cart. And then when I'm going through that second page where it tells you everything, where you just scroll through and you put it in your stock room,
I put it all in stock room.
I put them away if they're already in my store when I'm going through that page.
See, I find myself not having enough time to get through that. And then that gets into the part you run out of time and that page times out on you or your internet goes out, then you're messed up.
See, but if you think about it, if let's say, which, knock on some wood, it hasn't happened to me yet, but if you was to get halfway through and you lost power, you haven't hit enter to submit.
Right.
So when your power comes back on, you would just redo it and you would just scroll down to your spot where you were and then pick up where you left. You know what I mean?
No, you're right. And I have done that. Yeah, I'm with you.
So I make sure I have enough time to put that away. And then the stuff with no remarks, I can come back and do it anytime because they're sitting right here if they don't have remarks.
Right. Right.
So
yeah, this is the system that we came up with when it was me and my wife doing it
the
together.
Thing is that we're trying to help each other. We're not as advanced as you yet with the brick stock. Because we waiting for the tutorial. You did one tutorial and we couldn't follow.
Okay, I need to figure out a way to explain my system because I have seen others that have bigger BrickLink stores that do things that I think are slower. Right. But it must work for them. But it's like, for instance, you're talking about putting those things away. I've seen where people take all the drawers that they're going to have, and then they when they're sorting, they just put them in the drawers.
See, that's what I thought Joey was doing. But then when he goes through and he's already got pieces in there, then he's got to pull them out of this drawer, put them in his store, and now he's got it. Since he does 2 parts of a drawer like I do, now he's got all these drawers that are half. So then he's got to take the.
So the other thing is you got to think when you're parting out. I don't want to think when I'm parting out.
So if I have a suggestion for you, maybe you could do, the parts packs. Did you do that? You probably did them already though, because you don't waste time when you're parting.
I don't have enough of the new one. I think I got 2 or 3. I have the Friends set, not the apartment, but the Lego Ideas Friends.
See, I was just thinking if you could do one that was kind of like a poly bag size, because
I got a Wolverine mech. I got 5 or 6.
Because that would be a good one because it's not a whole bunch of parts, and you could.
But those sets are so easy. It's deceptive, because there's not as many lots, so it's easy to. I mean, you can part them out just like boom, like that. Mm-hmm. But I guess I should start off with a small one to show the process.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And then where I set them up in the store where I don't have to walk as far.
Because Joey and I are definitely interested in this brick stock. We just don't understand how to get started with the brick stock.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'm still confused on how you guys get it to your drawer without. I mean, I don't know. It's just
Me
I want
or
things sorted out first.
so
And
I
then
sort. So I'm gonna do. I've got 3 of those. The last parts pack, and I think next week I'm on vacation, so I think next week I'm gonna do that the way I do it.
way you do it, okay.
And I'm not gonna screen share. I'm just gonna use the tripod behind the.
Right.
I might do it in 2 videos too, because I can't see myself putting out a video that's 30, 45 minutes long.
I didn't. Yeah, I intended to.
You
cut
don't
it down,
realize
but-
it, right? You don't realize it. So I think I might talk about it and get so far, and then come back in the next video and finish it. But
Yeah.
probably won't get any views, but
You never know. You don't know what people are looking for. People.
I was surprised mine got as many views. Now I say as many views for my channel. Yeah, for
look, when I put a video out there and it gets over 100 views, I feel like, whew, that's a good one.
yeah. Well, it got 239 views, so I don't know what that means for my channel. That's in the short amount of time that's been on there. That's actually pretty good for my channel.
Yeah, if you get over 5% of your subscriber views, you're doing good on YouTube. It used to be like 10%.
So 5%.
That's
okay.
like 50 views if you got 1,000 subscribers.
Right.
Yeah,
65 views on my channel, so 3 times that. Because I'm like 1,300 subscribers.
I mean, I have how many subscribers I got? It's over 60,000.
Yeah.
If I get 1,000 views, that's my core subscribers. It's like that's what it is. So what's that? I usually get. I think I get most time I get close to 2,000.
Sometimes I cheat for you guys, because like it'll be in the morning before I go to work, and I'll start a video, and I'll watch like I might watch like 5 or 6 minutes of it, and then I get over. And I watch it on my iPad, right? Mm-hmm. So then I get in my car and I pick it up. And when I pick it up, I got to watch the ad again, which means I'm thinking that you're getting 2 views out of me instead of 1.
Yeah.
So I average about 3% of my
3%.
Yeah. So think about that.
3%.
So that's why I say if you're getting like 10% or more, that's like really good.
Yeah. I think the trick is how do you get your video in to the YouTube feed to trend? How do you get it? I think the trick is to get it trending.
So did you see my thumbnail for? So I did 2 videos on Tipper Truck TV of the frozen tipper truck.
Right.
Did you see the one with the split screen and the arrow?
Well, I saw it, but I don't remember it, I guess.
I don't know. I was pretty impressed when I saw the short with Jacob when he handed you the rare red 2x4 brick. And you said, yeah, that is rare.
I can't believe it fit in the. So they got this feature where you can take a clip from an old video.
Right. Which one are you wanting?
That's that one.
Okay.
See that thumbnail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the secret thumbnail. Look how many views that video's got.
2.4
with 250 subscribers. And it's the thumbnail. It's not even. It could be even better if it had more bright colors for the background.
Right.
But that thumbnail style.
So I had that.
Yeah. So I need to get this yellow color to be in the up there with the logo. Oh, that's not really a logo. I should make that a T-shirt. But those bright colors.
Oh, you know what, Joey? You just take that simple thing right there and you put the TV inside of an old little TV. That's the T-shirt. That's it.
Yep.
You take a TV set, an old TV set, and you put that TV inside the TV set.
But then you got to do something with the tipper truck.
No, you don't. He's got tipper truck written there. This is old.
Oh,
font.
You're just saying tipper truck with the TV around the TV.
Right. With a tipper truck TV, and then you put the letter TV inside.
In a TV.
Like the picture on the TV.
I got it.
Yeah, I'll work on that. I messed up on my time lapse.
That's merch, baby.
Merch, baby. Did you get my tipper truck emoji? Did that work or not? Jabbo.
Oh, I forget. You sent me one?
I did. I did. I mean, it's no big deal if you didn't want it or didn't
Wait,
like it, but it is your.
Is it this that no?
It's your.
No, it's not. I need the it's out. Oh no.
What?
The tipper I have got to I don't have that the thumbnail is a lie. The avatar for my channel is a lie.
Oh, that's not yours?
No, that's not and it needs to be this tipper truck.
Wait a minute.
Then send me a picture. I will fix it.
You've got 2,000 tipper trucks and you have somebody else's?
No, Tipper Truck TV only has one.
Oh, you know what I mean.
Come on, BrickTsar.
That is Joey's tipper truck.
Ow,
it's turned really? The other way. I flipped it. And this is why the one thumbnail there where I was melting it, I forgot to turn the tipper truck around. I melted it the wrong way. So you notice that was my one thing I wanted to be in all my thumbnails, the tipper truck facing that direction.
Right.
And I got it wrong.
You do. You have it wrong in the.
But yeah, I need to get a picture of the actual tipper truck for the thumbnail. So should I take it with like a white background or a green screen, or how would I do it?
Contrasting color. High contrasting color.
The yellow.
The yellow, there's yellow in the tipper truck.
Yeah.
So like a green screen would probably be good. The only thing is you don't want to get green cast. So probably white. Probably white.
Okay. I can do that. But yeah, so I knew that video with the thumbnail would do better. And the thumbnail could even be better than what it is. But the thumbnail is in the first few seconds of a video are the most important thing of your video. And it's like you could take a channel and go back and change the thumbnails to good thumbnails, and the channel could start getting more views.
Huh.
And I learned something about shorts.
Okay.
It's the first 2 seconds of a short because they autoplay. I was mad because I was like, it was picking like just the worst image from the video to be the thumbnail for my shorts.
Okay.
And you can't change it. They took away a month or two ago. They took away your ability to change your thumbnail on shorts. I used to preset them.
Even from the web page.
Yeah. So my early shorts, I picked the thumbnail.
Right.
In the last couple of months, I haven't been able to pick a thumbnail, but it doesn't matter because that's mostly not what people see. A subscriber will probably see it if they look at my page, the page for my channel. But I've been getting a lot of comments and messages from people who say, "Well, we don't get notified when you do a short." And I'm like, "That's fine," because they do those go to two different things. Like subscribers are more likely to get a regular video recommended to them. The shorts are going to the shorts feed,
right?
And so when it's in the shorts feed, it starts auto playing, and so that's why the first couple of seconds are the most important thing in a shorts video. So now I got to figure out how to say. And I had one short and one TikTok that blew up, and I realized it was what I said at the beginning, the one with the fire station.
So you got to say something.
I said, you can't build this according to the instructions.
Yeah, I was going to say you said something that was antagonistic of some type. Yeah. You can't do this, or okay.
But now I'm going to start thinking of that. Say something like that.
See, this is going to break my whole theory. If I know these things, it breaks my whole theory if I really don't care. You know what I mean? Because it's like I just do what I want to do, but then I do kind of care.
But then you're caring about
you care about your camera.
Stop caring about your camera. If you're going to say you don't care about your camera. Use your phone.
Use my phone. You're right. You got me. You're right.
And quit apologizing. Quit apologizing.
Because when Joey, why do I watch your videos?
I have not a clue. Because the content, I would assume.
It's because we have same interest.
Right. Yes.
And you have a sense of humor, and you like to talk about these things.
Right.
And so don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're absolutely right.
Take some of that stress out of the production value, because you're having to edit a lot. I imagine.
No, I do. I edit way more than I should. Way more than I need to. I've streamlined it, but you do yours on your phone. I imagine if you have a 15-minute video, you're probably done in 20 or 30 minutes. Right? I mean, you don't do hardly any.
Took me 15 minutes to film.
Yeah, then you got 15 minutes of upload or processing or whatever. Where if I have a 15-minute video, there may be an hour of me fiddling with it in the background.
Yeah.
So I end up an hour and a half or whatever.
And I think about something like what Greg does over at BrickTech, where he films a lot of footage and then goes and picks what he wants from that. I don't want to do that. I don't have the time to do it.
No.
So I try to only film what I'm actually going to use.
And see, I'm to the point I don't even want to do A/B or B footage like that, right? I don't. That's why I never do B footage. You do B footage on yours to some extent, but I have two cameras going at the same time, and I just sync those. That's literally when I drop it into Adobe, and I tell it sync them, and you don't ever see it because I cut it out. Huh?
What would be easier though? I mean, you get the clip in the right place when you do that. But what I do is I film, and then if I want to get a close up of something, I film that separately, and then I just drop it in the video right there where I need it.
Right. Well, I'm set up that if I want the close up, and I just go through, and because I obviously I have to watch my videos before I post them, but
you have to watch the whole video.
I do, yeah. And if I want the close up in there, then. Right. So like I said, your 15-minute video is done in 20 or 30 minutes, where I'm going to rewatch my video at least once.
Yeah.
And then I switch, because I literally just have to hit A/B, and then it'll switch it back and forth to whichever. But
so so for those that don't know, my editing process is I film a bunch of clips, I put them together. I will usually cut out the piece at the beginning and the end of the clip that's like me walking to be in front of the camera, that type of stuff. And then, that's it. So I can a video that's 15 minutes long, I can edit in about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Unless I'm adding if I want to put comments in the thing, that type of stuff takes longer.
Sure.
But typical video, like the one I did today that I uploaded, y'all may not have even had a chance to watch it yet.
The members video.
Yeah. It's going to be for everybody. It was early for members.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That one had several clips, but it didn't take me long to edit.
Yeah, we definitely.
That's not a level of quality that some people would want. Like if they were doing this for a living, like what I do might not be. But it's like for us, for people like me, it's like.
But your videos always come off. They always, to me, always look like they're at such a higher production value than what mine are. And I know what it takes to do what I do, and I'm always like, I'm just.
I don't see that. I see you put a lot more effort in yours because of the dual cameras and the flipping back and forth. Where I'm similar to Jabo, but I don't even do as much as he does. Where I film it with my phone. I put them all together. I do a little cutting, but most of the times I do watch them back just to make sure I don't say something stupid or in case I got to edit something out. But
right,
or the one that I haven't when my mic battery went dead, that would be the one that I threw up there without listening back to.
Right,
yeah, and I've done that. So since I don't watch the whole video back, that if something went wrong, I might not catch it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if I watch the end, so that's where the end of the clip becomes important. So if I listen to the end of the clip and then there's no audio,
right?
So my mic must have died in the middle of this.
But I'm like, I mean, I don't put much effort in it. And I tell you why, because it's frustrating when I've done a few videos where I've put in effort and thought they were good and edited them and played with them. And then you're like, man, that video sucked. I mean, I thought it was good, but it got no viewership. It got no, like, well, why? It's like, geez, I just keep doing what I'm doing.
Earl, I will tell you, you want some constructive criticism?
Sure.
If for one thing to change on your channel, you'll never guess what it is.
You want me in front of the camera?
Well, that would be two things, but you don't have to be in front of the camera. Because I mean, a lot of my videos, especially my older videos, I wasn't ever in front of the camera. It's the intro.
Oh, I got rid of that. I mean, I didn't get rid of it. I just haven't been using it lately.
Yeah, you don't need it.
Yeah, I haven't been using it lately.
Let the intro be you.
Yeah, I haven't been using it lately. I was doing that, and then I started, instead of putting it in the beginning, I would like clip it in. I would do something and then put it in. And then I was like, it's kind of a wasted.
Okay, since we've gone down the rabbit hole of YouTube here, 2 hour mark. I do have a question. Video. Yeah. Well, I'll go and edit it. Okay, so I see a lot of these videos that don't have an ad in the front. Okay, and then they'll have a mid-range ad. Let's say if it's a longer form video, 5 to 10 minutes, or maybe even 15 to 20 minutes in, then they'll have the mid-roll video, and then it seems like some of these it's like the closer it gets to the end, it's like every 5 minutes or 2 minutes they have another mid-roll, which gets annoying. But I want to be able to not have the front roll ad, and then so many minutes in do one.
It's in the whenever you select ads, whenever you in your settings, or it's right there when you're selecting when you monetize it or whatever.
Right.
It's in that group of listings on how you want it to do it.
So my front and back ad is grayed out. It will not let me change that. Even if I select mid rolls and am over the 8-minute mark.
Let me see here.
They're all. I don't want to say they're grayed out, but they're always on.
Yeah, the display ads is always on. You can't disable display ads, but those are the ads I think that show up on the right.
Yeah, no,
overlay ads. You should be able to disable
front
and sponsored cards. Like I'm looking at this on, it's not going to show up. Yeah, it's not going to show. I can't do this. It's display ads, and then these two you can uncheck. That one you can't change, but that's not on your video. That's on the side of your video.
Okay, well, now here's all right. So now I'm gonna have to go back and look at this because I just pulled one up, and because I'm in the same StreamYard and YouTube, I'll never be able to do this without.
Oh, and then you also got before video, pre-roll, mid-roll. So you're saying yours is maybe your default is set differently.
Well, okay. Yeah, so now what I'm wondering is I'm looking at one. I just looked at one that has not been released yet. Okay, so it's scheduled, and I can go back and I can actually turn that off now. But I know for a fact when I uploaded that and was originally doing it, it would not let me turn the before video off.
Oh, here's another tip. It processes. When I say process, it's looking to judge if you're ad friendly, and sometimes there's features you can't change while it's doing that. Sometimes I can't even change the thumbnail while it's
processing. That might be what it is. And okay, so my impatience is what's the problem here.
So it's better to post a video and then wait a day and then make it public.
Right. Is that me making that noise? Somebody's talking in the background.
To me? Earl's watching the game?
No, I'm not watching the game. I saw this short with Dakota that I haven't seen yet.
Oh, is that?
I'm trying to figure out what this was.
Is that the one with my daughter?
Yeah.
Okay, she posted that. There's music in the background, so it got a copyright claim or whatever, not a strike, but it basically they demonetized a video that can't be monetized to begin with because it's short, right? It hit almost 1,300 views in an hour.
I don't understand. It says, "What do you get the man who always has everything?" And it just shows me the box. Well, what's in the box?
Well, it was supposed to be, well, that was later. It ended up being an extra police station modular.
So I think YouTube, if you first start doing shorts, like your first few, I think they artificially promote them, because we were in Florida and I did a couple of shorts on Tipper Truck TV. I mean, I posted it, and then 15 minutes later, 3,000 views. I'm like, what?
That's crazy.
And so I did another one the next day. Same thing. Like within 15, 20 minutes, 3,000 plus views. Another one did, and I got like 8,000 views, almost 8,000 views. I'm like, well, this is great. Well, then I did another one. The fourth one I did like 40 views. So I think they artificially pushed out my first ones because there was nothing special about them, nothing catchy in the title.
And you notice it's like if you put a short out there, it's like you get all of your views in the first day, and then it's
nothing.
Or they'll be in a short window. It's when they're actually on the shorts feed. So it could be the first day, could be an hour after you publish them.
All right, let's compare notes on the short. Okay, because you uploaded a short that I produced for the A F.o.O.L Podcast, because I spit those out on the odd.
You got like 300 views.
Is that what it is? Because the last few that I did as shorts, so like the one that was the contest, it got 1,400 views. The one for episode 63 got 1,600 views. Then the nostalgia one got 800 views, and then the one for episode 61 got 58 views. Right? So there's no rhyme or reason in my head, because those videos are all the same format.
Again, all of this was made before I knew that the first couple of seconds is the most important thing.
So
I'm going to go look at some of mine. Some of mine got over 1,000 views, but the A F.o.O.L Podcast one's got 468.
So keep that in mind for the next one, for this one.
Yeah, so when I'm cutting it, the first couple seconds needs to be the funniest line in the thing.
When I'm laughing at the beginning.
Well, I thought my toilet one was going to blow up. You got 191 views.
Yeah, you would think.
I should have labeled it like, is this set appropriate?
Well, that's also the other thing. Anything that if you put a question or you can't or whatever, that gets people to view them more. Just, hey, haul number 12 isn't going to do any good. It is not going to do any good. Lego haul number 12 is not going to do any good. So
my most viewed short, it just says vintage Lego fire station, safe for children of all ages. What does that video start with? I don't even remember. Is it the same? Oh, you can't build the set. So it's my most popular short of my recent ones.
You can't build the set.
You can't build the set according to the instructions. So now I know how to start mine. I'm not going to say this is another vintage Lego set. I want to say something that catches people's attention, that's factual or funny.
Factual or funny, yeah. Mm-hmm. Did you see? Speaking of not factual or at least misleading, have you seen the new guy? The new channel, Jason's Bricks and 5. Have you seen that one yet? He does. His stick is he's doing stuff in 5 minutes. So all his videos are 5 minutes or less. They're interesting. He's kind of like a guy like us. He does, he's got a little city and he does some different sets, kind of little reviews and show and tell stuff like we would do. Very much stuff like we would do. The other day he said he picked up his Razor Crest and a couple other sets, and he said, I got to go over and help a friend get his YouTube channel up. He's only got 100, or he said, he's got 102 or 103 subscribers, and I'm going to try and help him get him up. And I don't remember how many Jason has, but it's like 300 or 400. So he's doing it. He gets in the car. He's taking it easy. He's talking the whole time. Again, it's only 5 minutes long. He gets to the house, knocks on the house. Alex Nunes opens up the door. it's 102 or 103,000 subscribers. 102 or 103. But it was very cleverly done.
Yeah,
I thought it was really good. So he's friends with Alex. So
yeah.
Anything like that's kind of a gimmicky that would.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't know that it helped him because he didn't reveal who it was in his title, in the thumbnail, or nothing. It wasn't until you watched all the way to the end the last minute that you knew it was Alex Nunes. So, at any rate, I don't know how it did, but it was interesting. Check it out. Are we done? We're gonna work on
the longest one yet.
It might be 2 hours.
All right, we better end it then.
Yeah, because it's getting late over here, so it's getting close to midnight over there.
I was gonna say it's going to be tomorrow for Jabbo.
It's all right. I don't sleep. Hey, if you're watching this on the what do you play back stuff on? VHS? What is VHS?
What is VHS?
What were we talking about 2 hours ago? I can't remember. So thank you for watching another A.F.o.O.L podcast. We'll have the links to all of our socials in the description below. Thanks, Joey, for hosting this. Thanks, Mardigrasman23 for putting up with me, and because he's a Saints fan, I'm a Falcon fan. They actually finished ahead of us this year again.
I'm an LSU fan, and you're a Georgia fan, so you
Ha.
got one. Yeah, yeah, you're dominating right now.
So we'll be back in 2 weeks with another one of these. Maybe it won't be 2 hours and 15 minutes long. We'll see you.
See you. Bye.